Yo, what's up, everybody, man? We want to welcome you to our second episode of Beyond Friday Nights. I am one of the co-hosts, Coach Mike Patterson. I got to change my name down there. We got Coach Willie Martin from Crestwood High School up in South Carolina. And then we got Coach Darrell Fain at his new home of Lehigh Senior High, the Lightning. Bolt up, baby, bolt up. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing excellent, man. Doing excellent, man. You know, we had a big move this week, and I'm gonna let Coach Fame, tell everybody about his big move, about the big move.
Yeah, so like Coach Mike said, I have transitioned from Gaston County High School up here, Tallahassee, to Lehigh Senior High down in Lehigh Acres, Fort Myers in Florida. So I'll be starting there on Monday.
Congratulations, Cuzzo. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, cuz. Good easy money right there. Go do your thing, man. Be great.
All right. So today
That's
we're gonna
plan.
start with a little bit of current events today. You know, we got a lot of stuff going on, and we ain't gonna talk about all of it. We just gonna talk about a little bit of it, And so last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, the head coach of Valdosta High School got suspended, and he got suspended for. You can read in the papers and it'll tell you what he got suspended for. About talking about different programs paying players for money, And so what I want to ask y'all, man, what do y'all think about him being suspended or even being a big deal?
Well, him being suspended, rules are the rules. If you're breaking the rules, then you got to pay the consequences at some point in time if you ever get caught. But as far as him paying players and stuff like that, we all know he's not the only one doing it, especially in South Georgia. Come on, I'm from South Georgia. I know it's a lot that go on. Him helping family members get jobs and opportunities in the city. Man, they've been doing that since I've been knowing down there, but we just couldn't do it because the school I was at, our brand wasn't big enough. It wasn't big enough. We win, but the brand in South Georgia, the school I was at, wasn't big enough to draw that type of interest. Usually, those are your bigger 5, 6, 7, 8 schools. But like I say, if you are doing something that shouldn't be done against the rules, then I guess you gotta take the consequences as they come.
Right. Coach Fang?
I mean, like you said, it's not anything new. I know coaches that, it was so you knew that coaches were doing that. When you have kids that move in from out of state and they end up at this school and you're like, how do they know about this particular school? Like right now you got, I'm not putting it out that it is happening, but you have a kid that is transferring from Texas to Tennessee, and he picked a specific school to transfer to. So my question is, how do you know anything about that school? Valdosta, you know about Valdosta. It's one of those schools that has a brand name to it. But if you're at, John High School, and John High School has no brand, no rep, you get all these big time athletes keep transferring in. Now you got to start looking at, okay, What are you doing? You know, I know coaches who help families get housing in the school zone, jobs that's close to the school, you know, things like that to get their kid. So, I mean, it happens all over the country. The only difference between this and them is he got caught.
Right. You know, and you know, it's, you know, being a high school football coach, and you know, I guess, you know, if you think about the pressure that a lot of programs are under, you know, as far as winning, you know, we just take the Allen High School. Their coach just resigned. You know, he resigned, and you know, the reports are that, you know, maybe he got tired, but he hadn't won a state championship since 2016. And then 2 of the last 4 years he entered undefeated, you know. And you know, it's that pressure to win, you know, where that he may come to my alma mater and they okay with that, you know. You know, you take that same record and you go to, you know, Miller County, Bainbridge, Georgia, you know, Donaldsonville, they'll take that all day long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go to places like Valdosta, you know, you go to Allen, you know, you know, you go to Oakland or Maryville, you know, you go to Miami Central. Now you got to win championships at those places. That's what they're expecting, you know. So let me ask you guys this. Let's say
Allen.
Go ahead.
Looking at the Allen position, I looked at, you know, okay, he was there, 5 years? So the coach before him was there 5 years. The coach before him was there like 3 years. And then the coach before him is there 5 years. And I mean, if this is the school that is known about winning, they don't have, it's like a revolving door with the head coaches. And I think, you know, how you put it is, I mean, he probably did just get burned out because there's that high expectation. They're paying them coaches a ridiculously amount of money to coach there. Like we were talking the other day, and just for the offensive coordinator position, that's $86,000 that you make. Well, money's good, comes with it. You know, like Biggie said, more money, more problem.
Coach Fang, I don't think that's a ridiculous amount of money. I think that's right in the ballpark.
I wish I was getting that then. I would be doing something right there.
What I'm saying is, it has that attachment to it. You know, you're getting paid $86 to coach at a high school. They're expecting you to bring in results. And that's just from an OC position. You know, some coach in Texas making a 50, 160 a year, they're expecting you to bring in multiple championships. And if you don't do that, then they feel, well, we didn't spend that money right. We're going to give it to somebody else that can do it. And now you have that pressure like, okay, I'm making this money, but, you know, I got to win, because if I don't win, I ain't going to be making this money. So now you're stressing out about that. That's just like being the head coach at IMG. You see everything IMG has, but like you said yesterday, there's a whole lot that comes with it in order to coach at IMG, and you got to be able to handle that.
But my thing is,
because you're making that crazy amount of money.
My thing is, though, I don't think that you have to be this great coach to be a coach at IMG and win, because I'm saying you get the guys that needed to win. All you gotta do is put them in position to be successful. You take a coach that's coaching at a lower level school, that's got to coach his butt off just to get anything out of the kid. That's a true coach. You know, that's a coach who actually coach. I ain't saying that people who coach big time can't coach. Yeah, because most of them have already paid their dues and came through the ranks of being on the lower levels where they figured out that every kid just ain't a 5-star. Every kid don't got it, but they make a kid who ain't got much talent into a okay talented player to be sufficient on their team. So I'm saying, like, I think if you coaching at IMG or Mater Day somewhere like that, I think as a coach, you just got to hold it in the road. You got to be creative. You got the guys, put them in position to be successful. Don't overdo it, and you'll win.
Right. I'm with you on that, though, man. I'm with you on that. We ended up going to IMG yesterday, and man, you know, like, whew, nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, top of the line, everything, man. They had, it looked like 20 some fields out there, man. You had soccer field, you had lacrosse field, you had football practice field, you had a couple different baseball fields, softball fields. You know, they had a about the size of an end zone, and the O line and D line guys, especially the D line guys, you ain't got to go nowhere else. You get all your work right there in maybe 5 by 7 yard section. You know, you can get all your work done right there. You know, everything that you would need. And you know, that's nice. We also saw the indoor facility that they got, you know. And to me it look like they just blew what do you call them things where they like you blow up
Just
you know,
an inflatable.
Yeah, an inflatable. You know, that's what it looked like, you know, from the outside, like an inflatable, you know, and it probably turf on the inside. You know, so, you know, those perks are nice, you know.
But the kids that go to IMG, they have
they
to.
You had.
Go ahead, Komar.
No, I was just gonna ask.
I was gonna say, like,
you good? Oh, it's skipping up on his part. He coming in late, so we're gonna get it. Hang on.
No, but what I was saying was, like, yeah, you got the game field with a gorgeous track going around it. You got 2 practice fields, a turf lacrosse field that they can use as a field as well. About 6 or 7 fields. You know, they got a hotel on campus. What high school has a hotel on campus? I've been to private schools. None of them have hotels on campus. So IMG is like, the minute you pull on campus, you are no longer at a regular high school. It's completely different world.
Right, you're absolutely right about that. Like, I've been to American Heritage Plantation. I've been to St. Thomas Aquinas. Like, it ain't even close. Like, it's not even close as far as, you know, their facilities, you know. So let me ask y'all this. You know, you all been in the game for a little while. Is it better to be at a unknown program and build it up, or be at a known program and try to add on to what they've already established?
Me personally, I like building up programs. As it's something I take pride in. But if I had to say which one was more beneficial, I would say being a program that already has an established name, and you just helping, you know, build on what they already have established. Usually, from what I experienced coming through the coaching ranks, when you at a school that really ain't known for a whole lot, and you start creating a little buzz, it takes a while for that buzz to start, you know, hitting the air and really generating revenue with it, whether it could be college coaches showing interest in your program. Kids wanting to come to your program. It takes a while to get that up. But you can be a school that has a tradition, but have been having like 2, 3 pretty bad seasons, and your name is still it still rings out in the community, around town, around the state, and you done had a couple of down years. So I would definitely say that being at a school that has something that's been established once before, has a strong tradition, is a little bit more beneficial than building up a program. But I just enjoy being at places where I got to build the name.
Gotcha. Coach Fine.
I kind of like it in the middle. And what I mean by that is where they don't have that brand name, but they still have, I wouldn't say successful seasons, but they make the playoffs. They may get put out in the first round, but and is able to get them over that hump. I like that. The thing that with starting a program up from the bottom is once you get it to where you want it to get to, then you got to worry about administration, because now you got it somewhere where, okay, we got it where we want it. Now we want to get you out and get somebody else in that better represents what we straight to a program that's already winning. Again, it goes back to that pressure. You're going to always get compared to the guy before you. Oh, you didn't do what Coach Jim did. He won 3. You've been here 5 years and ain't won 1. You got to go. So I kind of like have those expectations, but really don't have those expectations. And then you get that team over the hump. And now you become, oh, yeah, that's the guy right there. So.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Well, with my experience, I do not want to go back and try to rebuild no more program. Unless the administration is all down, man. We gotta be down like 4 flats, man. But going to a place where you're trying to build something and they're fighting against you, like at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. That's what it's about at the end of the day. And if we are able to build a successful program, but the administration won't give you the tools that you need, the resources that you need to accomplish that, you're not hurting me as a coach. You're hurting these kids. That's who you're hurting. And when I first got into coaching, I got to a program that was already established. They had won a championship. I didn't know anything about them, and the expectation was, all right, now y'all got to win a championship. For me, there was no expectation because I was just getting into coaching and I was just trying to get my career established. So now let's take what we just said and now let's look at Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what Deion is. It's a program that used to be pretty good back in the day, and then they just fell off the cliff, and now he's bringing those expectations, So yesterday I put a quote up and I sent it to my coaches, and the quote is, "It's easy to hunt. It's easy to show up when you're hunting, but can you show up when you're the hunted?"
Mm-hmm.
And that goes towards expectations. So what do you guys think about that?
I'm saying that takes that's a culture that has to be built and created. If a kid had never been the hunted, they always been the hunter. And when they become the hunted, some of them fold. Some of them can't get over the hump. I'm saying they just never been there. It ain't kids' fault. They just gotta dig deep and learn how to overcome adversity when they face them type of obstacles. Going back to Jackson State, I know for the first 3 weeks they was killing everybody. I know anybody that came up for them to play, they destroyed them. They did a pretty good job. And then yesterday they ran into Alabama State and they had some adversity like the entire game. They didn't fold. They played hard. They just came up short in the end. I don't think they should hang their heads and feel bad about nothing, but they got to understand that they the ones who boosting everything on social media. Like they got this, they got that. Got the #1 recruiting class in the history of HBCUs. They moved up to ESPN too, so the other HBCUs in the conference saying, "Hey, look, bro, we doing the same thing y'all doing. We got guys that can play too. So y'all got to show us when y'all come over here, just like that." So that's what happened yesterday when they went to Alabama State. Alabama State was like, "Bro, we can play too. We got guys that can play too." And I don't know if y'all saw the game, but the coolest thing I saw on the Alabama State when they was talking about their team, they had 52 guys on their roster with a 3.0 or better.
Right.
And that was crazy, man.
The running back, he was one of the smartest kids in college football.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
Yeah, he like a mister. They did call what he is, man. But you know, and I was looking at that, and I was like, I said, that's awesome. I said, this young man right here, he's probably gonna get a look from the NFL that if Dion wasn't there, he probably wouldn't get because this game wouldn't be on ESPN like that.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
And he showed out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and the crazy thing about you now you can take that same quote and apply it to Alabama State because they were hunting Jackson State. Their offensive line, they were 4 freshmen started. The quarterback was a freshman. You know, so in a few years, they're gonna go from being hunting to being the hunted, and then how do you respond? So I guess the question might be, let me ask this: how do you, if you're hunting and your mindset is one way, how do you change that kid mindset or those kids' mindset from being, well, okay, we're not trying to get to the top, we are the top, and get them to buy in and focus like they were when they were the one that was trying to get to the top?
Well, I think through practice.
In my opinion, there's no.
Go ahead, Fane.
I think there's really no difference. Because, okay, so my favorite motivational speakers is Eric Thomas. Love watching his videos, and he's always like he's done this one with the lion and the gazelle. Which one are you? Right? The gazelle run in order to survive. The lion knows when he wakes up, it has to eat in order to survive. So always having that mindset that you're a hunter will always get your program to sustain that success. Bama or Clemson, they're always the hunter. They don't ever feel like they're the ones being hunted. Even though they're the top of the food chain, we're still hunting. We still got to eat. And in order for our guys to make it to the next level and thrive at the next level, then they have to have the mindset of eat whatever's put in front of us. You know, whether if they're LSU and let's say Alabama's having a down year and against LSU beats them, it's not that they were hunted, it's the prey got away. It's the only difference. Alabama was still the hunter in this. LSU knows that they're being hunted by Alabama. They just this week. can that hunter mindset, your program will always thrive. You know, even if you at the bottom, let's say I'll throw FSU in there. If FSU gets out of the hunted mindset and transitions to a hunter mindset, their program will get back to what it was in the 90s and in the 80s. You know, they were the hunter and they knew that they were the top predator in the football atmosphere, you know. But now they're this mindset and now they're just trying to survive. You know.
But
what
you know,
Alabama's doing is Alabama's trying to live. There's a difference between surviving and living.
So now let me ask you this: is it on the coaches or is it on the players? Because as players, you know, if you're going to Florida State, you know, oh man, you done made it, you know, and versus if you go in Alabama, oh man, you just getting started.
That's
so
the
now
mentality he was just talking about.
On the coach.
Coach.
Yeah, that's on the coach.
That's on the coach.
With Nick Saban, yes, because with Nick Saban, just because you came to Alabama don't mean, you know, you made it. Because Alabama's recruiting other 5 stars. If you're a 5-star and they recruit another 5-star in your position, they're going to be the hunter. Right? And that's the mindset that Nick Saban has put in place in Alabama. At Florida State, they have to get out of that. I'm at Florida State. I've made it. They got to get out of that hunted mindset and go back to being a hunter. This is just the beginning. You have now graduated from a pup, from a cub to a 2-year-old male lion. No, in 4 years, you're going to have to pride, start your own pride. So now you got to start getting that I'm a hunter and I'm providing for my pride while you're at a place like Florida. They're already doing that at Alabama and they're already doing that at Clemson.
Right. So let me ask you this. So should the coach, instead of them saying, oh, well, you know, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get 1 5-star and bring him in, should they go out and get competitive 3-stars?
Exactly.
And develop like that?
I would.
Yeah. Because I remember when Clemson were on the rise, they came and they recruited one of our cornerbacks. And he was the number 2 kid in the nation at his position. And they had just got another kid from Fort Myers, and he was a 3-star, but he really was a 5-star. They came and got him, and from what I was looking, most of the kids they were recruiting, they were 3-star kids, but those kids had 5-star character. So then when they got them in, it was easy to develop them. And so it made me think, well, it's not just the talent they're looking for the character as well. Because if they see that, okay, this kid got 5-star potential, that's his athletic ability. But then what does his character say? You know, and it may be, could it be that coaches are recruiting for 5-star talent, but not 5-star character? And could that possibly hurt the program in the long run?
Man, when I look at stuff, man, and you talk about all these stars and these ratings they giving these high school kids, I know a lot of 2 and 3 stars that are better than 5 stars, man. I know kids that got offers that ain't even better than some kids that I coach. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out how, like why, like what is this? Like I'm still trying to understand it. But I want a 3-star with that dog mentality over a 5-star who doesn't have that 5-star dog mentality. I'm saying that 3-star will eat him up any day of the week because he's hungrier. He wants it more. He been told he was all right the whole time. His whole life coming up playing. He been told he kinda all right, but nah, he just an inch too short. Or nah, he all right, but he might be 20 pounds too light. And then when he get out there on the field, he's better than the 5-star because that hunger, that drive inside of him, it just won't give up. And so I'm saying if I was a college coach, I would look more at some 3-stars with a high ceiling rather than looking at a 5-star who I think is well put together.
Right. You know, Coach Fane and I, we saw a young man yesterday.
Well,
and
there's only 30. There's only 32. Yeah, there's only 32 5-stars, and they do that based on, are these kids first round draft picks? That's how they do their 5-star. And the whole star system is new anyway. It's only been around for maybe 10, 15 years. But if you look at the 5-stars Alabama recruits compared to the 5-stars that Tennessee recruits, or the 5-stars that Miami recruits, they're different 5-stars. You know, they're 5-stars with that high character attribute. Tennessee gets 5-stars that are athletes, but they don't have character, because Nick Saban talks about it. There's certain players he will not recruit. He stands for one athlete in the country at Alabama, like, because you're not showing commitment, you know. So he would recruit a 3-star over that 5-star. So it's all about, like, you got the 5-star, yeah, you could play at my school, but what is your, you know, and you know Saban demands a lot from his players. Have high character to be at Alabama.
Right. Now let's look at so let's go ahead and we're gonna change topics. So tonight we were supposed to discuss, and we were supposed to have 2 guests on, but something came up and they were not able to be on. And we were gonna discuss old school offense versus new school offense. And what I mean by old school offense is we getting tight and we're about to run the ball, versus new school, we gonna spread it out and we're gonna put athletes in space. You know, so that was gonna be the topic tonight. Now I know both of y'all both of y'all new school. Am I right or am I right?
You in there?
So, you know, and so I'm kind of, when I first moved down here to South Florida, I was old school to my heart. I remember I was next to coach the safeties, and you know, I'm just being honest. I never thought about what the safeties do. I'm like, I don't need these guys. I don't even need to say. I don't even need these guys. And then we lined up and they spread it aside. And I was like, oh yeah, I do need these guys now. You know, because I had took my safety. I had some more linebackers in there, man. And after the first pass plays, I said, oh yeah, okay, I get it now, you know. And then over time, me working in this system, I started learning respect for the spread, you know, and I was like, oh man, you know, you can do some things for it, you know. But also what I've noticed in order to win and what I've experienced, you still got to be physical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you still got to be physical. If you're not physical, whether you a spread or if you old school, we're going to run the veer 3 yards in a cloud of dust. If you're not physical, man, it's going to be hard to win, So let me ask you guys this, you two new school guys. How do you develop your offense, this new school age offense? How do you develop them to be physical?
Well, the way we do it is the way we run practice, the drills, one-on-ones, competition, all that type of stuff. It makes the kids stay hungry and it keeps them where they need to be when you have to get nasty on the field. Um, so that's how I look at it. It's the way you structure your practices and the way you taking the kids through whatever you taking them through. You gotta
So,
keep that.
so Mark, give us an example.
All right, so
of let's say a Tuesday practice.
All right, so a Tuesday practice, what we do, how we build our toughness, we out mistakes, and we don't punish kids for making mistakes. We just let them know it's consequence, for anything, and we do thigh runners. So we partner up and we do 15-yard thigh runners. And so if we had 10 mistakes that day, we're gonna keep our mental toughness, our mental sharpness, and everything while we're doing these thigh runners because they hurt and they break you down. But you partner up to do them. It's you and your teammate, and y'all do it together. So a thigh burner consists of one partner getting behind the other one, and you just hold their thighs, and then coach will blow the whistle. You sprint 15 yards while they giving you all the resistance they can give you, and then we turn around and we bring it back. And if we got 10, we just gotta do 10. If we got 12, we got 12. And we built a lot of we changed the culture last year at Crestwood, and we built a lot of toughness, man. We didn't have one game our offense folded and didn't want to fight. Like we offense fought like it was the last game of their lives every game. That just goes back to the things we did in practice. The one-on-one drills, competing every day, like it's your last rep, stuff like that, and holding kids accountable when they make mistakes, let them hold each other accountable, stuff like that. And we just built that culture, man, and it just took off from there.
Gotcha. So are you all? Do you all do Oklahoma drills, or that's out the window?
This year at Crestwood, no, we did. I can't remember practice we did Oklahoma drills. We didn't. We do inside. We do a lot of we do compete drills, like running back versus linebackers, or receiver versus DBs, but we hardly ever do drills where we do Oklahoma. That's probably a spring thing, and we all know that we didn't have a spring last year. So it was my first year over there, so I wouldn't know what they typically do in the spring, but I'll find out this year how spring is typically ran at Crestwood.
Okay. Coach Fane?
Board drills. Point blank period. That's how at Gaston, how we got our O-line and our D-line to become physical. Everybody looks at the spread and they think it's a finesse offense. But it's not finesse. It's the same as if you ran the I, if you ran the wishbone, if you ran the power I. If you want to run the ball, your O-line's got to be physical. And the competition level between our D-line and our O-line at Gaston, it showed. Because what Coach Fuller would do is if he felt like, we weren't getting the effort up front that we needed, he would stop practice immediately. Line up, we're doing board drills. And I don't want Davion going up against Gritna. I want Davion going up against Josh. I want Jordan Carroll. I want Stanley going up against Shanks. He puts the best of the best on the best. And you're going to keep going until that weakness comes out. And we'll do that for about 10, 15 back up, go back and start seeing the aggressiveness from the O-line show even more. We get into game day and they're like, okay, I just did board drills 4 days in a row with our defensive line. No other D-line is better than our D-line. And you start seeing them drive guys down the field, you know, and like I count pancakes. I want to see pancakes. That lets me know that you're being physical. And when you're watching film and you can count 45 to 50 pancakes in the game, and I mean, I'm talking legit pancakes where they're driving a dude 15, 20 yards downfield, and then they just pancake them. You know that what you were doing in practice that week, that physicality has now come out, and it becomes easy. See it on film, like, oh, this is easy. I can do this all day, you know, and, you know, we were averaging 30, 40, 50 pancakes a game. So that's what we did to get the physicality for our run game in order for them to do what we needed them to do.
All right, but now that's old school there, man. That's old school back in the day, you know, board drills, man. You know, a lot of offensive coordinators, they don't believe in that now, man. You know,
get that done.
They don't believe in that, man. They don't believe in doing stuff like that.
See, I consider myself old school in the new school. I came up in the old school running I formation, power I, Maryland I, wishbone coming down your throat. You coming, I dare you to stop it. School in that school in the new school. I still want my O-line to be that physical. I still want my O-line to be that aggressive. Now we're able to do on the field because with the old school offense, passing game wasn't that prevalent. Now passing game is pretty prevalent. But if you have a running game to go with that pass, everything a whole lot. Old school mindset in the new school office.
Gotcha.
Gotta have that.
Okay. So let me ask you guys this. You get down to the goal line, right? Or let's say you inside the 10 and the defense is on the field. And you're watching the other team's offense on the field. And they come out and they spray it. And they do nothing power. They just may want to run inside zone and they get stopped. Are you saying, are you thinking about let me ask you this. So are you second guessing their calls? Or are you saying, well, hey, our defense did a great job?
I say our defense did a great job. I don't worry about what the other team call on offense.
Gotcha. Now, what about this? Do you reallocate plays from the other team? Like you still play? Man, yeah, I think I might.
Nah, sometimes I look at formations. Well, I got a formation that I got from one of the teams up here. The big school, I call it our Trump formation, but we hadn't ran it yet. We hadn't even ran it in a game or anything, but it's a formation that's in the offense. It's nasty. It's a nasty formation, though, but we hadn't ran it. Hopefully we'll get to it this year because it was like too late to install a lot of stuff last year. So we may get to it this year, but I don't. But I looked at that 2 years ago. I saw it on film. I know they rushed for a lot of yards. Most of all the games they play, and there's one particular formation that stood out to me. Is kind of an unbalanced formation. I'm like, dang, it's pretty clever at how it is. And I took it and put it into my offensive scheme 2 years ago, but hadn't been able to run it on the field yet because of install and time.
Gotcha. Coach Fane, what about you?
I'm a thief in the night. I steal. I'll tell you that. If I see something that can work that worked on us, right? And then I watch film, and let's say I'm watching an opponent that played this team that just ran the same thing on us, and it's successful for them. Yeah, I'm finna steal that because, I mean, if it worked for you in both those games, I'll give it a shot, you know. Again, how we talked last time, GT counter was, you know, my counterplay, right? Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure this one out and how to do it. But Mike told me you can trap. You can trap a nard. Never done it. Then I saw it. Now I'm trying to stealing something. I'm going to take it because it's something that, as an offensive coach, I've never seen that. To me, a trap is a 3 technique. You don't trap a 0 technique. It is physically to trap a 0 technique. And I don't know who it was I was watching, and they did that. Another team trying to figure this one out as well. They ran it was almost like a reverse counter, but so they pulled it was a power. They pulled the left guard, and when he got around center, pivoted and came back to the left. So they to the right, got past the center, and he back to the left. And then the tackle on the right side pulled behind. The running back got the ball like he was following the guard to the right, and then got behind the tackle as they were going back to the left. How? And they took it like 60 yards. So there goes another play I'm stealing, trying to figure out how to do it. You know, so, I mean, you're going to find plays that intrigues you. You're not going to be able to steal everything, but there's going to be some plays like trapping a 0 technique or running that kind of counter. It's going to catch you bet 2 times a game because it's going to catch them off guard because it's something that they haven't seen before. And if it's something that they've used, then you use it against them, you know, that's going to catch them off guard too. Mike, you know all about that.
Right. I do. And that, and Coach Martin, him and I told him when I was at Central, we were playing Worth County and they trapped my 0. And this, the only reason we put a nose in that whole game, because we didn't play with a nose. The only reason we put it in is because we want to stop their trap. That's the only reason. None of us had ever seen a 0 get trapped. So we know we're going to put this 0 in. We ain't got to worry about trap. Man, they trapped that sucker so much. It was 88, and he was hitting his head on the goalpost, man.
So they were running more of a midline.
No, it was a regular trap, man.
Mm-hmm. They just trapping it. Yep. Okay. Cool.
What it was so I took my fastest D lineman. We had moved them all around and put him at nose. And he was coming off so fast, he was disrupting everything. And so in that second quarter, they made the adjustment to trap him. And I'm talking about, listen, that joker, I told him, I said, after they did it the first time, because they knocked his earpiece over here on this side. He came back to the sideline. He said, Coach, you ain't tell me about this. I said, listen, I ain't never seen that before. Mm-hmm. You know, and so all us coaches, and I'm telling you, we probably had about 60 years of experience on that sideline, and that was something none of us had ever seen. You know, and you know South Georgia football, man. You gonna get, if it's football, you're gonna get it. You know, you're gonna learn some stuff, and then you just gotta adjust. You know, but me and Coach Fane, we argued about it for like a whole couple of days. And I called Coach Cooksey, and I said, Coach Cooksey, he told him, because everybody, I'm talking about everybody on the sideline looked at each other. Only one guy had seen it, that was the head coach. He was like, oh yeah, I've been knowing him for years. I knew he was gonna run that. And you ain't mentioned to tell us this none this week. You know. So yeah, man, and even like Coach Stabler, and we'll probably have him on next week. I borrowed from him. He was the first coach I seen to show cover 4 and run cover 3. But he ran cover 3 different ways. He ran it with the backer, with the corner, and with the safety. And man, I'm telling you, I watched it over. That next year when I came back, my defensive back, that's what we were running. We were running, and we're gonna run it till we run it to perfection, you know. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we led the county in interceptions because you didn't know who was gonna be sitting down there, you know. And yeah. And I don't even think Coach Stable, I don't think I ever told him that I stole that from him. I'm sorry, we allocated that from
him. Gotta be a thief in the night, Devin Fane.
You said it right.
Yeah, man. So look, man, we done been on here for a good little minute, man. We finna get ready to get off. Coach Martin, do you want to do our recruiting tip to close us out, and then next episode, we'll start with the recruiting tip.
Absolutely, I got you. First thing first, when you're handling recruiting or you're talking to people about recruiting kids, whether kids or parents, you want to let the parents know that your kid has to do their part, maintain their part, like grades. You want to get the grades in your core subjects. That's in math, your English, science, history, and your foreign language. And you want to let parents know that every kid won't get a college offer or a college scholarship. But what we can do in our program is make sure every kid qualifies for college. All right. Qualifications to receive a Division I athletic scholarship is a 2.3 GPA pending the test scores. All right, D2 is a 2.2 GPA pending the test scores. All right, typically a 2.7, 2.8 range GPA will get you in just about any major Division I school if you have the test scores to match it. All right, so don't let most schools will tell you, we want a kid with a 3.0, we want a kid with a 3.5. If a kid is a stud, they real good. If they got a 2.8 and their test scores matched up, the school gonna take them. All right. No, they ain't gonna ask no more questions. They gonna take them. Trust me. All right. Kids, you want your kids to understand that you want to get B's or better in all your core subjects. So your math, English, science, history, and your foreign language, you want to get B's or better. All right. B's will keep you at a 3.0 or better. So if you're looking at the GPA requirements for Division I, Division II, you will see that making B's is way higher than the requirements. All right. And that's right. Absolutely right. Because kids make C's like 75 in each classes and still qualify for major college football or a major college scholarship and whatever it is they want to do. You just have to have the test scores to match up. All right. At your school, your coaches should have what's called a prospect sheet. And you want, as a recruiting coordinator, somebody who handles recruiting, you could be a parent or something, you want to help your kid get recruiting, you want to build a recruiting profile. On the prospect sheet, it will have a kid's height, weight, GPA, SAT, ACT. They have the player contact and the coach's contact, so they'll know who to contact. All right. If you were doing a recruiting profile yourself on a kid, you want to have the height, weight, GPA on there, SAT, the ACT. You want to have a brief bio about the kid. You want to have the player contact, your contact as a coach. Tell them how they can reach the head coach. And you want to ask that college coach, you just want their feedback on the kid, see what they think, whether it's positive or negative. Most of the time, they'll hit you back and they'll give you their feedback on what it is they like about the kid and what it is that they don't like about the kid. And they'll let you know if that kid is the caliber athlete they are looking for. What I did at my high school, Crestwood High School, I created a virtual recruiting folder, and it's taken out perfectly. The only difference between the virtual recruiting folder and the prospect sheet is that On the virtual recruiting portal, you can click on the athlete and you can watch the highlights. On a prospect sheet, it's just a sheet that college coaches look at, and typically they go off measurables and test scores. All right, so you can have a kid on your team that's 6'3", 250, and have a 21 on the ACT, but not a good football player. But college coaches will call in about that kid. So, but on the virtual recruiting folder we have, it has all that in-game picture of the kid. And then when you click on the highlights, you can see what that kid is about. So when it comes to recruiting, first thing first, you got to realize is that you got to take care of your part as a student athlete. That means you got to make the grades in your core subjects. Remember, we want B's or better in math, English, science, history, and foreign languages. All right. Keep in mind that every kid will not get a college offer or a college scholarship. So please do not fuss and be mad at your coaches if you don't receive the college offer you want or a scholarship offer to go to school. Make sure you still go to school academically. That's why you got to keep up your end of the bargain with the grades. So those are the things I wanted to talk about as far as recruiting this week. Grades, keeping up your end of the bargain in your core subjects, and please keep in mind that every kid will not get a college scholarship or a college offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Martin, man. We really appreciate that. We're finna get ready to close out. Coach Martin, you want to let them know where they can find you at?
You guys can find me on Facebook at Willie Mack Martin Jr. You can find me on Twitter at Mac_Nipsent. That's MACK_NI_PHICENT. And you can find me on Instagram at Coach_Mac Martin.
Coach Fane, you want to let them know where they can find you at?
You can find me on Facebook at Darrell Fane, Instagram Coach_Fane54, Twitter Coach_Fane54, and on YouTube the Give 'Em 6 podcast.
All right, and then you all already know when you click this, make sure you click like, share, follow, subscribe. You can find us on Facebook at the Impact Media Channel. You can also find us on IG at the Impact Group, and then you find us on YouTube at the Impact Media Channel. And so we love y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.